Leaders create effective, function-focused teams. Talk about teams and we start talking about communication, relationships and interactions. After all, teams are about people. But do we get too caught up in team dynamics and keeping people happy? Are there processes that simply remove this need? What if we take the relationship side out of teams and look at it simply from a function point of view? It is actually a thing. Teams working within a functional leadership model focus solely on the task, working on just two functions: pragmatic function and relational function. Pragmatic function looks at what do we do, and relational functions, how do we do it? Pragmatic functions, this looks at the skill base of each individual member of the team. Does each individual have the skills needed for this task? Do we have team structures, systems, and processes, designated roles and identified skills, and does everyone know about them? Hunger, that drive for the job, that individual personalised passion to get the job done. Humility, my ego isn't important, I'm here for the team. And people smart, I understand how people work and how to relate to people. Pragmatic function looks at the purpose within the team. Do we know what our task is and what we have to do to achieve that? Knowing the needs and the weaknesses of each individual, and then bringing an understanding that I am personally responsible and accountable to the team for the work that I do. Relational function is about the interactions of all those individuals. Understanding what skills each individual brings to the team and how we can maximise those. Understanding how people interact and interplay, those relational dynamics. These are assessed, they're analysed, it's a science, and then made explicit. There is an expectation that people will work and understand each other and get on and achieve the job. Collaboration, using the skills of the individual to achieve the task. And then norms and expectations are set, clear, committed to, and accountable to. And the purpose or the function of the team is made absolutely explicit. When we understand the dynamic and the balance between pragmatic and functional and relational functions, then we bring about an understanding that one will not work without the other. When something doesn't work, often we look to an individual or we look to one part of the system. And functional teams really suggest that you should look at the interplay. How are they working one with the other, as opposed to pulling the system apart? Functional teams require individuals to be really high functioning, highly skilled, self-starters, self-confidence, a certain level of self-belief. Functional leadership is a relatively quiet sleeper in the leadership type descriptors that get thrown around. Functional leadership focuses on the actions of the leader and the team, and if they are effective, not looking at behaviour. Action-centred leadership is another way of describing functional leadership. Another quiet sleeper is organic leadership. With highly skilled teams, hierarchy falls to the side and is less important. The focus is the task and an understanding of who can achieve what. Remembering that collaboration, that's this one in the middle here, is using the skills of the team, the right people working on the right task to achieve one goal or parts of the whole, not all working on the same thing at the same time together. Organic leadership relies on the strength in individual skills and outstanding team function. Team is a priority with a sole focus on results and task. Organic leadership means the person who needs to lead now leads. The right person to lead is the person who has the best skills at this point in time for this task or part of the task. There are no egos. There are no place for egos at all. Functional, effective teams actually require less structure. They rely on personal high performance and high accountability, autonomous individual decisions that work best for the team. They are often developmental in approach, developing both the individuals and the team as needs arise. Performance is measured as a team, not as an individual. You are accountable to your team, not the leader. You are accountable only through your results. Functional teams focus on teams as a system. They assess, diagnose, teach, develop, and they expect results. It's quite a refreshing approach to team thinking. Put the egos to one side, focus on the task, and let's just get on with the job. So, on reflection, do we focus too much on behaviour, relationships, egos, doubts, and emotions in teams? Is it this that stops teams from achieving results? A wise leader I once worked with said, "You don't build relationships first. You build effective relationships as you do the work, through the work." Maybe there's something to be said about functional leadership to create effective teams.